Welcome to How Do They Afford That, the podcast that peeks into the financial lives of everyday Australians. I'm Michael Thompson. I'm a writer and the co-host of the podcast Fear and Greed Business News. And as always, I'm with Hannah Campbell, financial planner and founder of Sugar Mama TV, which is the financial literacy platform that you will find on YouTube and podcasts and books and Instagram and on your website as well. Hannah, we have a great savings hack today.
Ooh, do share.
And it's mine.
All right, I'm listening.
So, I love the fact that the enthusiasm just drops away. And look, this is a fantastic one, which I think I can say that about my own kind of savings hack. It's one that I've wanted to do for so long. And now that I think about it, there's a chance I have actually already done it before on the show. We have done 60-something episodes of this. And so there's a chance that I might be doubling up. I don't think so. Have we ever talked about dishwashing tablets?
No.
Okay. So I love, this is going to make me sound weird, but I love packing the dishwasher. It is my favourite chore in the house.
Do you stack it like a Danish designer, architect, engineer?
It is something. And whenever you have guests or something and they're kind of helping out by packing the dishwasher, I'll just kind of stand a metre behind them, kind of with my arms crossed going, no. I don't like what you're doing. And eventually it gets so awkward that they step back and let me jump in. Anyway, that's not my hack. My hack is the dishwashing tablets. Because dishwashing tablets can be prohibitively expensive.
Yes, I don't buy them.
Well, today is the day that changes. Because if you go to Aldi, right,
yes,
you can get the Logix dishwasher tablets. And I'm not saying this without kind of having done my research. I have tried, as you can expect from someone who loves their dishwasher quite passionately, I have tried a whole range of different dishwashing tablets, from kind of the most expensive through to the cheapest kind of budget home brand ones. And what I have found is that the Logix dishwashing tablets from Aldi are the best.
Are they the cheapest though?
Sit down. Get ready for this. Do you know how much they are?
No idea.
You can get a 40-pack of dishwashing tablets, Logix Platinum dishwashing tablets, for $7.49. That's 19 cents per dishwashing tablet. Did you know that if you were to buy like one of the big name brand ones from another shop, you will pay kind of maybe $1 per tablet?
That's crazy.
And if they're on special, it might be 50 cents per tablet. This is the everyday price for these ones, for the Logix Platinum. They're 19 cents each. You can afford to wash your dishes 3 times a day if you want.
See, I'm not a tablet person. To me, they're expensive. They're not great value for money. And I've still prescribed to that theory that we use too much cleaning products, like too much washing powder, which we discussed in a previous episode. We only need like a fraction. So I buy... And not that I'm trying to cut your grass.
That sounds a little bit kind of grass cutting.
I know I'm undermining you and I don't mean to, but I have a bit of a bugbear with washing powders and dishwashing powders as well, because I buy I think it's the Shine, and it's like $3.50 I think from Woolworths or Coles, and it's a big tub, and you can control how much you're putting in there. And I'd love to do a comparison, to be honest with you, but yeah, I'm not sold.
Okay.
Let us know, listeners.
Oh, please.
Are you pro tablet? Are you pro powder?
Oh, and if you are pro tablet, are you pro Logix? Because this is this will change your life. Please just can you try it?
I will.
Okay, because, and it sounds like I'm paid to do this. I'm not. I'm not receiving anything except superior clean dishes. And they have it's like an 18-in-1 tablet. I don't even know what the 18 things are. Like, it does 18 things. I only needed to do one thing, which is clean it. But it also dry, they are so dry at the end, and the glass is so clean and clear. It's just, I've tried a lot. And I've been so excited to tell you this. And you're just sitting there kind of going, you know what? This hack is a bust.
Okay, look, let's move on. But I promise to try it. I promise. And I will report back on Instagram my findings. I will do a comparison, break it down to the cent, and let you know my thoughts and feelings.
I'm going to be honest, I'm a little gutted right now. But anyway, we've got to get on to today's episode. And look, I think if I'm feeling gutted at the start, it's probably not going to improve at all throughout the episode, because this is a slightly unusual episode because
I'm taking over.
and it's largely about me, and in particular, why I haven't implemented any, well, hardly any, of the things that we have talked about over the last year and a half.
How and why not? We've made like 60-something episodes, and each episode you have learned something new, and you also now understand how important financial well-being is. And you also understand that sometimes it's just the smallest, littlest things that make the biggest and best breakthroughs.
Can I say something before we get going? And it's unfortunately the boring part, that as you're listening today, that everything we talk about is always general in nature. It is never personal, investment, strategic or product advice. It is purely for financial education purposes only. I need to say that quickly because it feels like you are just winding up. And the moment we actually hit play or start or go or whatever it is on you, you will not be able to stop.
That's right. Just to reiterate that general advice warning, of course, we don't know anything about your financial situation, your deadlines, your risk profile. So please always bear that in mind when listening to all of our episodes, including this one. All right. Okay. Come on. Like, what is going on? Because you and I talk obviously on air about money, and then we also have phone calls and chats, even when we're having a bit of a laugh off air. Like, what is going on?
Okay. Number one, I don't think I'm alone here. I think that I probably represent a large portion of listeners who have listened to you and listened to us talk about a bunch of the things that we should be doing in terms of budgeting and home loans and insurance and all of these things and investments and getting started, and have thought, great idea, I'm going to do it, and then you don't. And so I don't think I'm alone.
What is the block? What's holding you back?
I think it's time. I think it's the fact that there's this idea that it's going to take a long time to get it all going. It's the admin kind of burden of it, of just kind of getting started. And there's just so much it feels like you need to do. And now it feels like I'm just making excuses. And the look on your face is just like one of like, you know what? None of these excuses stack up.
No, they don't.
Oh, okay.
Can I ask you a personal question then?
Please.
Do you ever worry about money?
Constantly.
All right. If you are stressed, worried, overwhelmed, perhaps even anxious now, imagine how much worse you are going to feel in the future when you perhaps have less time, less opportunity, less resources and tools, and perhaps don't have the same level of maybe energy, career options, in 10, 15, 20 years' time. How much worse are you going to feel then?
You are painting a very grim picture of my future. Is this...
Damn right I am, because come on, I have been feeding you all this amazing information. I've put you in front of Peter Thornhill, which was just mind-blowing. I mean, your eyes almost popped out of his head when he told you when he actually got started. And the opportunity cost is huge. We even spoke about your home loan off air. Now, I want to just tell you something, a little sneaky thing I did in the background. You mentioned the interest rate that you were paying on your home loan, and I said that's ridiculous, crazy, and even gave you my own personal mortgage broker's details and said give him a call. Now, in the meantime, I did a little sneaky. It went behind the scenes, and I obviously don't know what your home loan is, nor do I need to know, but I looked at the interest rate you're paying and applied it to the average Sydney home loan size. And I looked at what the proper rates are that you really should be getting with the discounts included, and worked out that you are actually wasting up to $200 per month with the ridiculous interest rate you're paying. And if you were to actually go get some quality advice from a quality mortgage broker, like the details I gave you and the contact, you would actually potentially be able to pay your home loan off 3 years earlier. How do you feel about that?
Not great. Honestly, you
are wasting so much precious time and energy
and money
getting excited about 19 cents washing powder tablets when you could be like by doing nothing, not even lifting a finger, save $200 a month off your home loan. Like, isn't that a little bit illogical? To take the pun.
Oh, well done. But look, I really enjoy having clean dishes. So I reject the criticism of the dishwashing tablets once again. But yes, okay. There is clearly a mindset problem here. That you have done everything imaginable to make it possible for me to pursue this, in terms of we have talked about it, and I told you that kind of, we're still paying this kind of, it is quite an extraordinarily high variable rate.
How have you gotten so complacent like that? And it's the funny thing is we will do so many weird and wonderful things and make so many sacrifices, like not getting that takeaway coffee to save money. But then quite often, right under our nose is one of the biggest and best and easiest immediate savings, just like that.
See, but the thing is, I'm not alone. I absolutely know I'm not alone on this, that there would be so many people, there would be thousands of people hearing this at the moment that would go, yes, I have heard you talk about how important it is to check your home loan rate and to call up your bank. And I told you quite proudly, right? And this was just a phone call off air where you said, what are you actually paying on your variable rate? And I told you, I said, no, before I told you what the rate was, I said, no, Canna, it's okay. I've got this under control. I called up my bank a couple of years ago and I got them to lower the rate. And I was so proud of myself. And anyway, that was about 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. And and then you said, okay, just out of interest. And so I told you willingly what my variable rate was. And you nearly fell off your chair. And you said, yeah, you might have done it 3 years ago, but you need to do it again.
Remember, the sweet spot's around about 4 years that you can look at refinancing and quite often negotiate a better deal. But obviously be very careful with refinancing. You don't want to restart your loan term. So if you can, capitalise on those savings and increase your, refinance mortgage if you go and do this, which I really hope you do, and you can stay on track and potentially pay your home loan off sooner. But, okay, think about what you pay each month in a mortgage repayment.
It hurts.
It hurts.
Yeah.
So times that figure by 12 and think about that annual cost. And let's for simplicity call it $20,000 a year, which is obviously a very low figure, but I'm just fresh off a plane, so I'm going to just keep the numbers simple this morning. And now times that number by 3. So would you prefer $60,000 after-tax dollars in your savings account or your bank's? Well, I'd prefer with banks because I'm a shareholder of a bank. So there you go.
Okay. So this is really just a mindset problem then, isn't it? Is that? I'm asking you to become a psychologist here and psychoanalyze me. But why haven't I done this?
I think it's overwhelm and not knowing where to start.
Okay.
And I feel like there is not enough awareness of the wastage going on in your life. Like, you think about what you would do to save $200 a month in interest. A lot of people do a lot of different things to save $200 because that's a lot of money, particularly right now where budgets are so incredibly tight. So that awareness is not there, so you don't follow it up and put it into place. And I think a lot of people don't understand actually how, when you have a good mortgage broker, there's actually not too much paperwork involved. They do most of the heavy lifting for you. So I think there's a bit of a block there around that as well. Yeah. But then also people aren't aware of the opportunity cost with compounding interest. I ran some numbers, which I think you'll find fascinating.
Oh, no, see, you say fascinating, but it feels like this is actually just now an exercise in going, I'm going to force you to just confront the fact that you are wasting money.
Money and precious time.
Okay, let's hear the numbers.
I'm coming from a place of, a work colleague, but also a friend who doesn't want you to think, why didn't I do that? Or why didn't I know that? So let's have a little bit of a wake-up call. Some tough love is coming in this morning. So if you had invested $1,000 up front and then just $100 per month when you were 27, which is 10 years ago, assuming an average rate of 8% per annum, you would have $19,543 today. Now, if you continued on doing this, just the $100 per month, which isn't too hard, for 40 years, you would have $332,592 invested. Versus starting today, 10 years later, you would only have, at the same point 40 years later, $146,000 invested. So potentially that's cost you $186,000 by sitting on your ass, buying illogical, I think you should call it, dishwashing tablets. And then if you go and delay it for another 10 years, you would only have $59,575 using the same stats, which means your opportunity cost now is $273,000. How do you feel about that? You are costing yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Look, I'm going to be honest, I don't feel great about this. It's a little bit confronting. The thing that worries me most is that I'm probably still not going to do it. And I don't know why. I'm sorry. I will try. I actually am going to try this.
All right, why don't we break it down for you so you can follow the steps, because it's actually really not that hard.
Okay.
And once you get started, it's quite organic. It's quite often, I think, with making shifts and improvements in your life, you have a vision and you don't quite know how you're going to get there, but as you go one step further, the next step appears. And as I said, I don't say this to make you feel bad or, particularly make you feel bad about wasting time. I say this out of, I guess, as a caring friend and a financial planner. But by making you aware of this, you can then decide what you want to do, whether you want to step up or whether you're happy with making peace with the fact that you're wasting precious time and money.
Okay.
So there is actually, though, some good news to come out of those stats. So it's not all doom and gloom.
Okay, this is positive.
This is
because
about,
at the moment, it sounds 90% doom and gloom. So give me a 10%
This is
bit of
actually
hope.
about waving a magic wand and making up for lost time, because I always say to people, it's never too late. It's never too late.
You should have started with that. Could you have started with that next time?
No, because I feel like if I started with that, you'd be like, oh, it's fine, I'll just make it up for it at another time.
So you wanted
But
to
it is harder work, though, I won't lie.
So you wanted to break me down first, and now you're going to rebuild me.
Well, I want to let you know that there is hope. That there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are, at this stage, if you do something about it, there is the ability to make up for lost time. But obviously, the more you delay, the harder it's going to be. Potentially, the more risks you need to take, the less strategies and tools that are available, and you may feel a little bit old. And I know for myself, the older I've gotten, the more conservative I've become. Like, I'm less of a risk taker. And also, I'm getting old and tired and cranky. I'm becoming like Tom, my partner, who's really, really cranky.
I've never seen you cranky.
Really?
I have. Most recordings. It's just these one little moments of... Oh my God, you're getting cranky now. This is the perfect example.
I'm not cranky.
Is this not cranky?
This is not cranky. Oh, you should see me when I'm cranky. I'm a moody cow. I really throw my toys out the cot.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
So I've never seen you cranky then. I've just seen you just mildly irritated. Is that kind of... or barely even that. Have I just seen you kind of just like...
normal.
Sorry, I've interrupted you. Please go on.
You have not seen a meltdown. Next time I'm having a meltdown, I'll FaceTime you and you can actually see what it really looks like.
Please don't.
But, okay, to let you know that you can make up for lost time.
Okay, go.
If you were to start today with $5,000, so 5 times the original amount, and then were to invest $220 per month, you would make up for the lost time, and your portfolio would actually be worth $349,381 using the same average return.
Okay, so it just requires a larger monthly
amount and a larger initial amount.
And that's the penalty for sitting on my hands for so long.
Yes.
Okay. Look,
But my question though is, knowing that you're going to be $300,000 and almost $50,000 richer by doing this, how does that make you feel?
Okay, it does. It makes me feel good, but and this is the question, right? There are 2 questions actually. The first one is how. How does one actually do this? Because this is where I hit a roadblock. Okay, am I putting it into like an offset account? Am I putting it into a high interest account? Am I putting it going on and like opening an online saver account or something like that you can't touch and you have to kind of put in a certain amount and you can't withdraw it, otherwise you won't get the higher interest rate? Or am I putting it into kind of an investment kind of fund? Like, this is where I then hit that next point of going, okay, I get it in theory, I get the principle behind it, but I don't know then how to actually implement it. That's part one. That's question number one. And question number two is, where does the money come from, basically? And I suspect, I know I'm not alone on this one, is in trying to find $5,000 up front and $220 per month, when really, I'm sure I'm speaking for a lot of households, there's not a lot of spare money kind of going around at the moment. And if my priority has been to kind of build up the emergency money and the emergency fund, which is, I just want to give myself a gold star, just briefly if I can, that is something that I have taken from our conversations, and we have prioritised the building up of an emergency fund.
Oh, good. And where is that money sitting, may I ask?
It is sitting in one of our
savings, one of your 5,000 savings accounts.
Yeah, it's sitting in a savings account, but it is a high interest savings account because I have, oh no, the judgment. Okay,
why is it not sitting in an offset account or a redraw facility against your home loan?
Because I've already got two offset accounts that are both used for other things. See, this is again, you're just getting a glimpse inside kind of the mess that is the money in my head, where I'm trying to keep things separated by using accounts to do it.
Okay, but it also needs to be efficient and effective. So I don't know the intricate details of your online internet banking system and how your home loan set up. So maybe you can't possibly have another offset account or a redraw facility, but quite often, as a financial planner under the umbrella of general advice, you would say to someone, if you have emergency money, it makes sense to have it sitting in your offset account or your redraw facility, so that at least in the meantime, you are saving money in interest, because you maintain the same mortgage repayments, which potentially means you're paying your mortgage off faster and you are saving money along the way. So it kind of kills two birds with one stone.
Okay, now that you say that, it feels really, really logical. And it's not that messy to actually just put it in there alongside kind of, I've had to save some money for tax, for instance. And so that is what's sitting in an offset account at the moment. And so I want to kind of keep things separated because it just keeps it nice and neat. But theoretically, I could just make a note of what portion is this and what portion is that.
Here's an idea.
Spreadsheet?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nickname your bank accounts.
But they've got nicknames. It's called tax offset. That's what that one is.
But then you can have another one that each of my accounts is like Holiday to Bali, Canna's investment loan, Tom's investment loan.
All 26 of my accounts do have nicknames.
Oh, good. Okay, that makes me happy.
Then it's not just like account 5.7 or something like that. It is kind of, this is for clothes. This account is for medical expenses. This account is for insurances. This account, I reckon, look, as I name these accounts, I can actually watch your blood pressure going up a little bit. Like, we got, this one is for the tax offset. This one is for kind of everyday expenses. This one is for petrol. This one.
Look, if it works for you, that's great. And look,
I think clearly it doesn't, because we're in this position now of having a heart-to-heart kind of a few days before Christmas.
I just worry that there could be something potentially a little bit more efficient that will help you make bigger, better inroads in paying off your mortgage as quickly as possible. And just imagine that life without a mortgage.
I really do want that. That is a dream. It is.
Tom and I just flew back from Hong Kong, and we were on the plane. I said, Tom, imagine if we didn't have a mortgage. We would be so rich, not having to pay the bank every month.
Go wherever you want, whenever you want.
Live it up. And we were like weekends away every single weekend, wining and dining. Like, I just fill my life with so many amazing experiences. I'd probably even get a couple more Labradors.
Of course you would. Of course you would. That is your symbol of kind of luxury. More Labradors. You need a Labrador in every colour, don't you?
I did actually catch myself the other day eyeing off the Rescue a Labrador Instagram account and saw this beautiful Labrador. I was like, oh, I could give that one a home. It was a beautiful black one. But I'm not allowed to at this stage until we pay off our home loan.
You're on a ban. Okay, we're going to take a very quick break because we do have a few other bits and pieces to get through.
And I'm going to take you through the steps so that we can clear these blocks in your life. I'm going to be the Metamucil of your financial journey.
That is the most disgusting image that you have ever used on this podcast.
Maybe I am a little bit jet lagged.
I think you might be. All right, we'll come back in a sec. All right, Canna, today's episode has been a little bit uncomfortable for me because you got a little bit... Well, I thought you were getting cranky, but apparently that wasn't you getting cranky. That was just you getting passionate. Is that right? That's it.
That's just my normal old self.
So really, we've talked mostly about home loans today because that was the trigger, really, wasn't it, when you kind of...
Well, it's the easiest, most logical place to start.
Especially when you don't have to do
start
much.
Saving money. A good mortgage broker is worth their weight in gold. Not only will they do all the shopping around, negotiate a great deal with you, even negotiate a better deal with your existing bank, they'll also go and help set everything up for you. And in a couple of years' time, whether it be 2, 3, 4, 5, they will come back to you and say, you know what, the other bank across the road have got a better deal. I think we should have a look at refinancing there. Are you happy for me to do that for you to save some money? This is why, when you find someone who's helpful, has your best interest at heart, is giving you good quality advice, you hold on to them.
See, this face is the face of shame right now. That's kind of acknowledging that, you know what, I should have done this a long time ago.
It's so funny you say that because I have been in financial planning for something like 23, 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's something that I'm really passionate about. And I have been a financial planner for over 20 years. And when I would sit down with a new client and I would present them their financial plan and say, all right, this is what you've told me you want to achieve by these dates. This is how much you want to retire on. This is when you want to pay your home loan off. This is what stresses you. This is what worries you. This is what we're going to do. And this is why we're going to do it, and these are all the costs and the risks and how it's all going to work. And yes, we would tweak and change through the review service. The one thing that they would say to me every single time without fail is, Canna, why didn't I do this years ago? So I don't want you to have regret. I want you to have relief in your life, because that is what helps us sleep well at night. It gives us resilience and strength. It allows us to see that there is light at the end of the tunnel. These tough times, these sacrifices are worth it, that we are progressing, we are on the right track. And at times, yes, it might feel slow and it may even be a few steps back, but we understand what we're doing and why.
We had lofty goals for this episode to basically to do a detailed heart-to-heart and kind of unpack why I haven't done anything on, not just on kind of home loans, but then really on superannuation and insurance and a bunch of other things. So you know what this sounds like to me? It sounds like a second episode. I
think I am detecting intuitively as a financial planner that there's a little bit of fear as well as your money block.
Fear?
Yeah.
Fear of what? Is it fear of kind of...
getting it wrong? I feel like you're traumatized by your previous dodgy, high-risk abalone investments.
Oh, my
Sorry
God.
to expose that. Yes, Michael Thompson from Fear and Greed invested in abalone, and guess what? It flopped. So I feel like you've got PTSD.
Look, I wish it was only one incident. I mean, there's
more.
You are absolutely right.
Okay.
I think. Wow. Well, you are not just the Metamucil of the studio here. You're like a money wizard. This is.
Mamma Mia called me. They quoted me as the money whisperer who can fix your finances. Well, Mamma Mia.
The fact that you have figured out that maybe because I have made multiple mistakes, particularly investing mistakes, which is why I say, get professional advice, because I didn't on a couple of occasions, and I have paid the price for that. And so learn from my mistakes and get professional advice.
Well, that fear of getting it wrong
Yeah.
is keeping you stuck and holding you back.
Oh, this is getting profound.
And I'm going to end this episode with a very profound quote, because I love a good quote.
Oh, no, see, this
I'm
is
like
the problem.
walking, talking Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy.
This is the problem
advertisement.
when you kind of set it up as like, this is going to be really profound. It's going to have to be pretty good now.
Well, here's my quote for you.
Okay.
Fear is only temporary.
Mm.
Regret lasts forever.
Oh, that does. Yeah, that is kind of profound.
Oh, I thought you were about to laugh in my face and go, that's not profound.
No, I give you an 8 out of 10 for profundity. Profundity? I think that's it. Is that the word? Like
You're the writer, not me.
Anyway, okay. So next time we will come back and
We're going to break it down.
when you say break it down or break me down, I'm assuming yeah, it's me, and then you'll rebuild me in a better
I'll
kind
build
of.
you up. I'm going to give you clarity. I'm going to give you direction. I'm going to give you instructions.
Look, and this episode has been very interesting because what you say makes so much sense. And why wouldn't you pay attention first to your home loan? Because it is same with kind of rent, but it's the single biggest outgoing in your life. Typically, every week or every month, you're spending more on that than on anything else. So why wouldn't you pay a bit of attention to that? I'm standing by though the 19-cent Logix dishwasher tablets as being a solid, a sturdy investment in clean dishes.
I'll come back to you with my findings.
Okay. Look, if anybody wants more information and wants to actually get in touch with you to tell you how good the Logix dishwasher tablets are, because they are, like, serious. Aldi should be sponsoring this show because I would stand on a rooftop and throw dishwashing tablets down to people like a kind of a dishwashing Santa.
You did get me onto the Coles washing powder, which I am profoundly grateful for. You are saving me big time because I was buying Omo, which is very expensive.
Yeah, no, see, I'm here to help you. And just like that, I'm helping you with clean dishes and you're helping me with kind of setting me up for life. That seems like a fair trade. If anybody wants to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
The fastest place to get in touch with me is Instagram at SugarMamaTV.
Yeah, and you can hear me every day with Sean Aylmer on Fear and Greed, Australia's best business podcast. Thank you very much for listening to How Do They Afford That? Remember to hit follow on the podcast. Please leave us a review as well. Next week, it is part 2
Breaking Michael Down.
of Breaking Michael Down. Don't miss it.